Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Liberation Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan, and today we're going to wrap up that lesson that we've been working on for two consecutive episodes. So this is the third and final episode. We have two more ChatGPT prompts to enter in to find out how I can expand my use of the digital literacies that I selected early on. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So first things first, we're going to head on over to the Black Liberation Tech website. So here we're at the Black Liberation Tech website. Once again, it is available in both English and Spanish. We're going to hop over to lessons and scroll down to interactions, which deals with the different types of digital literacies. Just an FYI, here I have scrolling different examples of digital literacies. And I get that definition from Dr. Tisha Lewis Ellison, specifically what she published in 2009. And when I say I got the definition from her, I then use that when doing my dissertation in order to determine what were the types of interactions that the participants or the contributors of my dissertation were referring to that they needed to be able to do. So the idea with this is going through different digital literacies in order to make sure that you know how to use them. And if you're using them, have an opportunity to use them to plan something in your future to continue to enhance your skill and advance your skill. And if you do not have practice with it, to find a way to create a project that will help you enhance, advance, learn something new as it relates to what you're able to do when you're interacting in online spaces. And so here we go. Let's scroll right on up to D 1.1, a conversation for the future. I have it pulled up here to save time. And I scrolled down to where we left off. We were on step 3, generate prompts for ChatGPT to help create your project. And so we've gone through this first one, that's the project planning template. And so now we're going to go and use the same conversation to include the second prompt. And so here is the general prompt that you want to customize with the information as it relates to your interests and your goals. So ChatGPT prompt template 2, research and resources. Help me find Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women who have completed similar projects, insert field, discipline, course name, profession. I would like to learn about their experiences, how they adapted to new tools, what strategies they use to implement their ideas, and any resources or tools they recommend. Please suggest where I can find these videos, blogs, and articles by these Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women, and how to connect with them on platforms like LinkedIn or Instagram. All right, so now I'm going back to my Word document. This is what I had for the first one. So now let's go ahead and copy and paste my second one. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go back to the conversation I had last week with ChatGPT, and I'm going to paste it in here and I'll read it off. So it says ChatGPT template 2, research and resources. Help me find Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women who have completed similar projects in digital marketing of AI literacy and digital literacy workshops. I would like to learn about their experiences, how they adapted to new tools, what strategies they use to implement their ideas, and any resources or tools they recommend. Please suggest where I can find videos, blogs, and articles by these Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women, and how to connect with them on platforms like LinkedIn or Instagram. And let's see what ChatGPT has to say. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this into my save for later file. And now that I have captured that, let's go ahead and give it a read. So here's what ChatGPT had to suggest to me. That's a great prompt idea. I ran a search and pulled up a mix of profiles, organizations, research, and media to help you connect with Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women doing work in AI literacy, digital literacy, and ed tech. Below is a curated list plus tips on how to use it. I can also build you a contact tracker or outreach template if you like. All right. So, people and organizations to watch and connect with. So, once again, with anything produced by ChatGPT or generative AI platform, you want to make sure that you verify. So, go to the sites yourself. Don't just click on the hyperlink that's provided by ChatGPT, but go into your own browser and do the search and see if you can find these individuals. For the sake of conversation, I'm going to read these and I'm going to challenge you to look them up and see which ones are valid, which ones might be a push, and which ones you would want to explore yourself. Please feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section and let me know how it goes. All right, so here we go. Key Jones, Black Girl AI. And for those of you who are listening, let me read across the titles of the different columns. So first we have the name slash org, then the focus slash projects, what they share slash how they show up, and finally, how you could connect slash learn from. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first one, Key Jones, Black Girl AI, builds AI literacy and responsible AI adoption in underserved communities. Featured in Women in AI Plus Ed Spotlights, builds Gen AI tools and resources. Look her up on LinkedIn, Twitter, join Black Girl AI initiatives or their newsletter. The next person we have, Angel Bush, Black Women in Artificial Intelligence, BWIAI, founded an org focused on educating, engaging, empowering Black women in AI. Interviewed with NVIDIA, that's NVIDIA, public talks, community programs. Follow BWIAI on LinkedIn, attend their workshops, reach out via her org site. Mutele Konde, and that's MUTALENKONDE. Policy, advocacy, AI for the people, algorithmic justice. Writes, speaks, engages in media, panels in AI plus equity. Follow her on LinkedIn, X, attend panels she speaks on. Next, we have Amber Ivy, AI education slash edutainment for young people in Women in AI plus Ed features, works with kids, families on AI literacy. Follow her work via AI Digitales. Check her podcast slash YouTube. Next, Dr. Misty D. Freeman, AI Bias Education Advocacy, featured in Community Profiles about AI plus Ed. Search for her talks, papers, connect via their institutional affiliation. Corvida Raven, tech educator, blogger, communicator. Blog, shegeeks.net. Historically focused on demystifying tech for marginalized communities. Her blog and social media profiles are good resources. Reach out via her website or social media. Chiquita O. Thomas, computer science slash computing education, women and girls of color in tech. Co-founder of Black Compute Her, works in computing education. Look up her academic profile, her org, Black Compute Her, connect via conferences or email. Sadab Kinney, and that's SADHBH Kinney, and Alyssa N. Antel. Researchers designing speculative AI literacy workshops for BIPOC youth. Co-authored Reimagining AI in BIPOC Education Context. Read their papers, follow their labs, attend related workshops or symposia. Stephanie Dinkins, artist, technologist, AI, and identity researcher. Works combining art plus AI, projects like Not the Only One, examining Black women in AI. Her website, exhibitions, and AI.assembly.org are good places to engage. Wendy, AI for Education. Curriculum and content development in AI literacy for K-12 slash educators. Part of AI for Education, team building, generative AI tools for teachers. Explore AI for Education's site. Follow Wendy's post. Reach out via their team page. So next we have places to go, articles, media, and research to dive into. Reimagining AI, exploring speculative design workshops for supporting BIPOC youth critical AI literacies, designs for AI instruction with social justice framing. Avila, that's AVELA, a vision for engineering literacy and access, a study of culturally responsive STEM engagement in Black/Latin urban communities. Black girls as creators, an intersectional learning ecosystem toward gendered racial equity in AI education, a funded project, NSF, focused on enabling Black girls' agency in AI. AI video/panel. Black Women in AI, Building a More Inclusive and Equitable, a YouTube panel with voices in tech from racial justice perspectives. The Women in AI Plus Ed blog series, Spotlights. These are ongoing profiles of educators and developers in AI plus education. Next, we have strategies/lessons from these practitioners and how they adapt. From studying their work and public commentary, here are reoccurring strategies and lessons. 1. Center context and identity. Many integrate cultural, community, and justice lenses into how they teach AI, not just tools and prompts. Iterative pilots plus feedback loops. Before scaling, they test small, get feedback from participants, and then evolve. Visuals plus storytelling. They use narrative, images, and metaphor to explain complex AI ideas accessibly. Partnerships and ecosystems. Rather than going it alone, they often embed within schools, libraries, nonprofits, or tech orgs. Accessibility and ethics built in. Transparency, bias awareness, and multi-language versions are often baked into their curricula. Visible presence plus advocacy. They speak at conferences, publish, share network resources, and open doors for others. And then lastly, how you can connect and build relationships. Follow them on LinkedIn, X/Twitter, and Instagram if they share content there. Engage with their content, comment, share, amplify. Offer value. Share your own work, invite them to co-host a session or panel, attend workshops/conferences where they speak, reach out with a sincere note, mention a piece of their work you admire, and ask for 15 minutes to learn more. Join networks/associations. Women in AI plus Ed, affiliates of BWIAI, Black Compute Her, etc. And then ChatGPT provides another suggestion. If you want, I can build a contact tracker with LinkedIn profile links plus emails where public for 15 to 20 of these women. Then help you draft outreach messages. Would you like me to build that? And I'm going to pause there. I'm not going to move forward with that suggestion, but we are going to move on to the next and final prompt for today. Okay, so ChatGPT prompt template 3, skill development. Here's the general prompt. Help me find resources to learn the skills needed to complete my project in insert field, discipline, course name/profession. What tools, software, or platforms should I use? How can I leverage online tutorials, courses, or communities to develop my skills? Please provide specific resources that will help me with insert skills or areas needed for your project. Example, coding, project management, research techniques. Okay, so let's go to my Word document where I have my number 3. So I copied the whole thing the last time. I'm just going to copy this part this time. What's in quotation marks. And remember, I'm within the same conversation. So ChatGPT knows what I've put in before. If you ever want to make sure that ChatGPT remembers, you can include an additional prompt that says, please make sure to use the information from this conversation as context for the following. And so here I have my customized prompt, and it says, help me find resources to learn the skills needed to complete my project in digital marketing of AI literacy and digital literacy workshops. What tools, software, or platforms should I use? How can I leverage online tutorials, courses, or communities to develop my skills? Please provide specific resources that will help me with researching, implement, deliver products, data analysis, and create. And I'm going to go ahead and send that off. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and copy ChatGPT's response and then paste it into my save for later file. For those of you who might be asking, well, why are you copying it like that instead of just hitting the copy button at the bottom? Sometimes if you hit this copy button at the bottom, you'll need to insert it into like the Notes app on your computer or something that will take out or remove the formatting because it'll have some funny things to pop up. But I find when I just copy it from the conversation and paste it into a Word document, I don't have those extra symbols and things that come up. Now, have things changed since I've started? It's possible. So that's just my practice. Feel free to do what works for you. All right, so let's take a look at ChatGPT's response. Got it. Since your project is to design and run a digital marketing campaign to grow paid prompt engineering / AI and digital literacy workshops for Jordan Nuance LLC, I'll align resources with the 5 digital literacies you're developing: researching, implement, deliver products, data analysis, create. Here's a structured skill building resource map with tools, tutorials, and communities tailored to your project. All right, so here we go. Researching. Goal: learn how to investigate markets, audiences, and competitors for AI digital literacy workshops. Tools / platforms: Google Scholar, library databases, Google Trends, plus exploding topics, similar web / SEMrush, Yelp, and LinkedIn search. So for this, I'm going to hit the high points and keep moving. Communities: Women of Color Research Network, that's WOCRN, Latinas in Tech, Slack. Implement. Goal: turn campaign ideas into actionable steps using reverse design, backwards planning. And here are the tools / platforms: Trello / Asana, Calendly plus Zapier, Dubsado, which is a CRM, and then the tutorials and courses. There are suggestions for LinkedIn Learning and Skillshare. Communities: Black Women in AI, BWIAI, Women in AI plus EdTech Network. Deliver products. Goal: package workshops, which would be the decks, workbooks, marketing assets, and deliver high quality client ready results. Tools and platforms: Gamma, Canva Pro, Google Docs plus Slides, Notebook LM plus ChatGPT. Tutorials and courses: we have Coursera and YouTube as suggestions. Communities: Black Compute Her, Patreon creator forums. Next, we have data analysis, the goal being track audience engagement, survey feedback, and campaign metrics to iterate. Tools and platforms: we have Google Analytics 4, GA4, Google Sheets / Excel, Tableau Public / Power BI, ChatGPT with anonymized data. The tutorials and courses include Kaggle micro courses, which are free. Remember, verify and then trust. Coursera and YouTube. Communities: data for Black lives, and women in data. Create. Goal: produce engaging campaign visuals, videos, and OER content, bilingual, accessible. So tools and platforms: we have Gemini, Midjourney, and Dale E. Napkin AI, Descript / CapCut, Notion / Obsidian. Tutorials and courses include Domestika, Skillshare, and YouTube. Communities include Latinas in Tech Creative Circle and Creative Collective NYC. Next, how to leverage these resources. And I'll go through these. Set a 90-day focus. Research weeks 1 to 2, implement / create weeks 3 to 6, deliver products weeks 7 to 10, and data analysis weeks 11 through 13. Pair tools with community. Don't just take a course, share progress in WOCRN, BWIAI, or Latinas in Tech to get feedback. Build a micro portfolio. For each literacy, create one small deliverable: competitor metrics, workshop deck, survey dashboard, infographic, and share on LinkedIn to grow visibility plus accountability. Translate learning into workshops. Each new skill you practice, for example, GA4 dashboards, Canva, storytelling, becomes an add-on service or content piece for Jordan Nuance LLC. And then it asks, would you like me to build a 12-week personal learning plan with weekly actions, links to exact tutorials, and checkpoints so you can move through these resources in sync with your campaign? So that's where we're going to end the conversation with ChatGPT for this assignment. At this time, I'm going to just go ahead and read through the last two steps, which I'll leave you to work on your own. Step 4, find women with similar experiences. Now, let's find women who have completed similar projects or have experience in your field. Here are some tips for searching. Number 1, LinkedIn. Search for professionals in your field using keywords like Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women in insert profession or insert field entrepreneurs. Check their profiles to see their projects, accomplishments, and any posts about challenges or tools they've used. Instagram. Use hashtags like Latinas in Tech, Afro-Latinas in Tech, Black women in Tech, Latinas entrepreneurs, Afro-Latinas entrepreneurs, Black women entrepreneurs, Latina coders, Afro-Latina coders, Black female coders, Latinas in business, Afro-Latinas in business, Black women in business, or insert your specific field to find posts from Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women in your industry. Look for personal stories, tips, and content that inspire you. Blogs. Search for Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women-led blogs or sites focused on your area of interest. Use Google to search for phrases like Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women in insert profession blog. How Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women in insert field adapt to technology. Or success stories of Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women in insert profession. For videos, the suggestion is to go to YouTube. YouTube is a great place to find tutorials, interviews, and success stories. Search for terms like Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women, insert field, share their journey. How Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women adapt to new technologies in insert field. Or successful Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women entrepreneurs in insert industry. All right, so those are suggestions on how to go about doing searches for women with similar experiences. The last step, step number 5, create a plan for your project. Now that you have your ideas, resources, and support, it's time to start creating your project. Use the following steps to structure your plan. So here's step number 1. Define your project goal and purpose. What do you want to achieve and why is it important to you? Set a timeline. Break your project down into smaller tasks and assign deadlines to each task. Step number 3, gather the necessary resources. What tools, skills, or research do you need? Use the resources you found in step 4. Number 4, take action. Start with the first task and begin implementing your plan. Step number 5, monitor progress. Keep track of your progress and adjust as needed. Don't be afraid to pivot if something isn't working. All right, so the final note says, by completing these steps, you'll be well on your way to creating and successfully completing your project. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this. So you might be saying, wow, Dr. Jordan, that was a lot. It really was. And the point of it being a lot is to show you the breadth of what's possible. And this is just with what I prepared. So it's an example that will help me along my way. My goal is for you to take this information and adjust it so that it will help you on your way. So if you are a girl or mom, mentor, or guardian, and you want to take charge of a project, you want to get something done, and you want help planning it or brainstorming about it, you can use any of the prompts that you think will be valid. You can use any of the questions that you think will help you consider all the different parts of your project. You can take a look at the list of literacies to see if there's something that you need to work on. Yes, you know how to use a computer. That's great. But have you done all of those different types types of things. And perhaps I know I left something out. I don't have a complete list of all of the things that are possible when it comes to working online. And it's important for you to explore it for yourself so that when opportunities come, or when you're creating opportunities, or if you want to document your abilities, you have something to work with. And so this is just one way that you can try out your use of your digital literacies. It's a way for you to enhance your digital literacies. It's a way to advance your digital literacies. So once again, check out black-liberation.tech and take a look at the interaction lessons to see if there's something there that you want to work with, either with your daughter or your mom, your guardian, a mentor, or an auntie, or una tia, so that you all can just try something out together. And just like I did, you're welcome to come back to the lesson as many times as you need to. Don't feel like you have to sit down and do it all in one take. Save your progress, save your outputs, save your prompts. Work on your prompts beforehand, and then try going back and just plugging them in. You can do it like that as well. So make sure you spend time on developing your skills, and don't necessarily wait for somebody to require something of you before you work on it. You can work on it ahead of time. That way, when a new assignment comes, a new task comes, you have practice with it already. So once again, I want to thank you for listening to another episode of the Black-Liberation.tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share, rate, and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.